Hey guys, welcome to today's video where we are going to talk about, discuss, and unpack the question that I get asked absolutely the most, and that is what book or what type of book is the best to sell on Amazon. This is a totally loaded question with 100 different variables, and so let's dive in and talk about it. Like I said, the most asked question that I get through Instagram, YouTube, the Facebook group is what is the best book that I should be looking for or best genre of book to sell on Amazon? And there's no real short answer except this: whatever books you find the value in. When I first started out, I was quite overwhelmed when it came to how many books, how many different genres, how many different types of books, how many different titles there were out there. Kind of overwhelming. And so I started niching down and paying attention to just a few certain areas. And then after I kind of was able to identify value and sort of be able to look at a bookshelf and start to see books and almost see the profit sitting on the shelves, from that point, I was able to kind of broaden that scope to include more and more books. Now it's very easy for me to look at a shelf, spot a book, and kind of have a general idea or a hunch that it's going to be profitable. Then I hit it with the scanner, and of course, 8 out of 10 times it rings up as a profitable book. This is huge on cutting down time, but then there are the times when I just go in and I just scan every single thing because I don't want to leave any profit on the shelves, but that's another story. Let's go into the different genres or types of books that are out there. You've got religious, you've got fiction, you've got nonfiction, you've got kind of that way out there in space, science fiction, romance, textbooks, you've got self-help, you've got history books, you've got sports books, you've got health and wellness, you've got books about babies, you've got Christian romance, which is a spin-off of the regular romance, but Christian romance is more about I don't know, it's almost like Amish. All the covers are, and I'm finding a huge amount of profit in those books versus, those mass paperback romance novels with the busty lady on the front and the dude with the ripped six-pack, like that kind of stuff. I don't see a lot of value in that. That's not to say that there's not value, because other people may find value in those and may actually find profit in those books. I personally don't, because I don't spend a lot of time in those romance novels overall. One thing that I do find a lot of value in, that I pay a lot of attention to, are religious books and self-help books. For me, those are books that I can kind of go in, very easily spot the potential profit in those types of books. I've looked at political books, I've looked at sports books, and that's just not where my interest lies. And so, it's harder for me to find the profit in those books. Ultimately, you have to decide to yourself what interests you and start there. It doesn't mean you're going to finish there, because you're not. You're going to keep broadening your horizon. You're going to keep broadening the scope of books that you pay attention to, that you look for that value and that profit. But in the beginning, start slow. A word of caution when it comes to textbooks. Textbooks are some of the highest profit books that are out on Amazon, but you need to be very careful when it comes to textbooks, because apparently, I've learned this recently, there are a lot of counterfeits out there. And if you don't know how to spot a counterfeit textbook, they come from Asia, and they're kind of mass produced, and then they're sent over here, and the information's wrong, and like a lot of stuff is wrong, and students are paying hundreds of dollars for these books that are essentially counterfeit, and you as the seller may not know that it's counterfeit, and get in huge legal trouble for selling books that are counterfeit, even if you don't know that they're counterfeit. For the new sellers, that is often the reason why we are blocked from selling some textbooks in the beginning, is because they've had a problem with counterfeit books in the past. There are actual law firms out there that their whole practice is dedicated to searching and checking textbooks on Amazon, and then coming after those sellers who are in fact selling counterfeit books. So as a general rule, I tend to stay kind of an arm's length away from textbooks. Occasionally, I will find textbooks that I will do some research and ensure that they are, in fact, 100% authentic. And that's only if I find tremendous profit in them. So the short answer of what book is the best book is basically whatever you are able to identify profit in. And like I said, for me, there's two categories where I have been able to identify a lot of profit. And so those are my go-tos. That's what I stick to first. And then from there, after I've built the base from those books, I go on to other categories, other genres of books, and source from those. Like I said in the beginning, romance wasn't a thing for me. And now certain romance kind of subcategories I'm starting to see the profit in them. Ultimately, only you can decide what the best book for you to sell on Amazon is. You do, however, need to remember that it doesn't matter what you think or how the book looks or who the author is. If you have not scanned that book with a designated scanning app that has plugged into the Amazon database to verify sales and profit and price, then you are simply gambling. I had one person message me and they were like, I don't understand what you're talking about when you say scanning a book. They said, I went to the thrift or a bookstore and bought 30 books. And I said, did you scan them? They said, no, what do you mean? I said, it's simply gambling if you go into a place and pick books thinking that they're going to be profitable. They might be really popular books, but the price might be too low on Amazon for there to be any profit. I helped this person get their scanning app set up, and they went through these 30 books, scanned them, and only 2 actually came out to be profitable for Amazon. That being said, the only books that truly matter at the end of the day are the books that cha-ching on that scanning app when you scan them. If you don't have a scanning app, I highly recommend that you get one before you go sourcing again. The scanning app that I use is called Scoutly. It's excellent. It plugs right into the Amazon database. And because of the way it works, it's able to give you the price, potential profit, the days of sales, how well this book is performing, the current sales rank, and the average lifetime sales rank. So it's very important to have this information when you go sourcing. Scoutly is a great app because it's so user-friendly. You can jump in from day one not knowing anything about how the app actually works, and you can press the scan button, scan a barcode, and you're instantly rolling in the sourcing flow. If you're interested in checking out Scoutly as a designated scanning app for your Amazon business, there's a link in the description of this video where you'll get a free 30-day trial. You can check that out and see how it works for you. I also use these little yo-yo barcode scanners. You can actually pair this to your phone using Bluetooth, and then it scans for that app so you can go a lot faster. You don't need this right off the bat. This is just kind of a nice little thing to speed up the sourcing process. It's like $45 on Amazon. There's a link in the description of this video for this scanner as well. I hope this kind of answers some questions when it comes to what kind of books or what types of books are the best to sell. Whatever you see value in and is backed up by a designated scanner app. So you have to narrow it down to find that profit. I hope this video has been helpful and answered the question, this single question that I get asked so much. I hope you guys found value in it. And if you did, please consider subscribing. And I hope I've earned your thumbs up for this video. If you have any other questions, be sure to drop them in the comment section of this video or DM me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys on the next video.